On Saturday, there will be a national day of action against A&E overcrowding all around the country. For the first time in the history of the state, hospital campaigns right around the country will be working together and will show up in numbers outside of hospitals throughout the state. 15 hospital campaigns will be involved in this national day of action on Saturday against hospital overcrowding. It's an incredible feat that's been undertaken. There is leaflets and posters and mobilisation happening right across the country at the moment. At 1 p.m. on Saturday, citizens will gather outside of Our Lady's Hospital Navan, Cork University Hospital, Kerry University Hospital, Galway University Hospital, Mayo General Hospital, Sligo University Hospital, Letterkenny University Hospital, Causeway Coast in Coleraine, Daisy Hill Hospital in Uri, Monaghan Hospital, Cavan Hospital, Mullingar Hospital, the Lourdes in Drogheda, Conley Hospital in Blanchetown, Naas Hospital and Wexford General Hospital. And the protesters in the Midwest representing Ennis, Nenagh and Limerick will gather at 11 a.m. outside City Hall in Merchants Quay. In some areas, thousands of people will protest. In other areas, there will be hundreds gathered. And in other areas, dozens will stand. And they will stand united on one main point, that at some day, every single one of us will depend on a functioning hospital services being there for when we need it. And the truth of the matter is that isn't the case. And it's increasingly not the case, Minister, right around the country. The old, the infirm and the sick are being most exposed by this government and previous governments in relation to the lack of treatment. And I believe it's a form of cruelty that some of the three most vulnerable cohorts in our society can be left so exposed every year in terms of this hospital overcrowding crisis. Now, I'd like to thank those hospital campaigns for the level of work that they put into mobilisation, and I would urge people around the country to come out in numbers to their local hospital. I'd also urge the political parties and the independents in this chamber to make sure that they attend those rallies across the country and that they mobilise their own members to do so. And I know in many places, the unions, football clubs, civic society groups, they're all mobilising to get out for Saturday. It's an incredible situation, and I just want to focus on a number of issues, if I can, Minister. 120,000 people were left in trolleys last year. In many cases, the old and the sick were left for 24 hours, on average, waiting to see a doctor in an A&E. Overcrowding in 2021 caused 105,000 adverse incidents. Now, in each of those incidents, an individual citizen of this country was damaged by the HSC. That's what the meaning of an adverse incident is. In some cases, people were disabled by those accidents or mistreatments. In some cases, people died in this country as a result of those accidents or mistreatments within hospitals. And in the 5 years up to this year, according to an answer that I received back by PQ, I found out that the state has spent €2 billion on compensating people who have been damaged in our health service. Now, that's an incredible situation. Imagine if that €2 billion was focused at first to the frontline services within hospitals. Imagine the pain and suffering that would have been saved in terms of those families that went through those difficulties in those hospitals. It's an incredible thing that such a level of damage has been done. And it has been done in the main by the fact that we have a staff that is radically under pressure across the country. So under pressure that they can't do their job properly as they would wish. One of your predecessors, Simon Harris, actually wrote a report which showed that there was a direct correlation between understaffing in hospitals and mortality and morbidity. And that's what we've left in this state. Now, all of that hasn't happened by accident, and that's the God honest truth. And I was listening over the Christmas to government TDs and ministers coming on radio, coming on television, and saying this level of overcrowding is happening because of RSV, and it's happening because of COVID, and it's happening because of flu. And I was thinking to myself, are we really saying that the hospital overcrowding crisis is happening because people are getting sick? Are we really saying that if the pesky citizens weren't getting sick, the hospitals would be fine. Surely we should be designing a hospital service that has the capacity to deal with the illness that exists within society. And that's, an incredible thing. And there's a number of reasons why the health service is in such bad shape. In reality, it's built for about 3.5 million people. And we have 5.5 million people living in this state. And the reasons why the A&Es are overcrowded so badly is because they have been underfunded significantly. And the last years of massive underfunding happened just after the banking crash. And that has left our system significantly corroded. We have 6,000 fewer beds than we had in 2008, Minister. 6,000 fewer beds. We have 200 fewer ICU beds, even in the admission of the HSE. We have 30% too few GPs currently in this country. We're missing 700 consultants in this state. And in 15 years, the government has closed 8 A&Es. It'd be great if the government ministers weren't having a chat with each other during this. We don't get an opportunity to converse much, and a little bit of listening would be great. Now, in 15 years, governments have closed 8 A&Es in this country.